The law of assumption. What I've done is I've taken a handful of quotes from Neville Goddard, and I want to discuss the concept of the law of assumption. The idea that reality is a manifestation of the assumptions we hold true to ourselves in our mind, mostly subconscious. Many of us assume reality to be a certain way based on past assumptions that we call experience. And while these experiences may be true based on past conditions, they might not be, or they might be true based on what we want to create in the future. We create future from our past, or we create future from our vision, or what we desire to see brought forth. I work very closely with entrepreneurs, and in my journey of creating success in various areas of my life, business success, relationship success, career success, and success in every area of my life, I reflect back on my assumptions that made it so. A great exercise to do is when you're having a conversation with yourself, observe the words you are communicating and realize that most of communication is based on assumption. When you're communicating with another person, observe their communication and the interaction, and observe how their reality is a manifestation of their assumption. What we hold true to, what we assume to be true, externalizes as people, environment, circumstance, and information to reveal to us about ourselves. These assumptions are contributing factors towards our definite chief aim, and also may appear as not contributing towards our definite chief aim. Let me explain this further. The way I look at it is everything is contributing towards a definite chief aim. That is my assumption. Now, this assumption is very powerful because then it allows me to reflect upon what is externalized and adjust the cause within. And if something shows up that appears without in the outer world to not be in harmony with my definite chief aim, I understand why through observation. And what I'm really looking for is creating and assigning meaning to whatever that person, environment, circumstance, or situation reflects in a way that empowers me and brings me into a state of flow. Flow is where challenge meets skill. Skill is found within, in the world within. You assume having the certain skill. You uncover having the certain skill, and it externalizes as having the certain skill to overcome the circumstance that may appear to be a setback. And this primarily is discovered for me in the world of entrepreneurship. I work with many different entrepreneurs, and many of them reveal to me their assumptions in our conversations. And my job is to look at the assumptions, help them realize that it is an assumption, and assign an assumption that is based on being in harmony and related to empowerment towards creating what they desire. As a result of changing the assumption from one of disempowering to one of empowering, they feel energized, they feel more in flow, and thoughts, emotions, and behaviors flow towards the realization of their definite chief aim. And they also have the ability to tap into infinite intelligence, ways of bringing forth their desired outcome that goes beyond the comprehension or logical way of explaining it, which is also based on an assumption. The assumption that there are forces that work in our favor to bring forth what we desire. Neville says your assumption to be effective cannot be a single isolated act. It must be maintained in an attitude of wish fulfillment. Attitude of wish fulfillment. That's the primary assumption. The secondary assumptions are the different thoughts that show up all throughout the day that we assume to be related towards the master assumption, which is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So there's the outcome that we desire, and then there's people, environment, circumstance, and information that shows up that we might associate and give it the meaning of Caesar, which is denial of the feeling of the wish fulfilled, or empowerment and realization that they are contributing factors to bringing forth your definite chief aim. How so? By observing upon reflection, what we are assuming about the circumstance.